Ugh. Hey, if I have to look at it again, you do too. Look at the liquid sputtering. I don't like it. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Splatoon 2. Last time, we got to see a not-so-loved weapon class in the form of the blaster. And did decent enough with it, I guess. This time, back in Octo Canyon once more, we're gonna be doing some exploring before getting into our first taste of ranked battles. And maybe not with the weapon you'd expect. Up we go. All right, so I think up here, yes! The hammer reveals it. Oh, Octoling strike right in the reef. Okay. Woo! Octolings. Wait, that's a mini zapfish. Apparently 8 mini zapfish combined have the power of 1 normal zapfish. I'm well versed in this. I'm used to combining 8 red coins into making a star. Octolings, an entirely new type of enemy, I suppose? Yeah, enemy, friend, whatever you want to be. Not all octopuses are bad, you know. They're basically AI opponents, which this kind of brings me to something that I've believed for a while. If you have AI that can essentially play the game, why do you not utilize this in multiplayer battles whenever somebody disconnects? It's obviously not as good as a real player. The AI is rudimentary, but it's better than having nothing at all. Okay, maybe not. That right there, you see that puff of smoke? Yeah, so there's supposed to be another Octoling in this level, and it just poofs out of existence as though it's somebody who disconnected from a match. I don't know if that was intended as a joke, but it consistently happens every time you play the stage, where, I think it's only in this stage, where an Octoling just simply disappears. There I throw a bomb at that because it instantly combusts on objects. And that's a helpful way to just destroy Octolings instantly, where it instantly blows up behind them. This is useful in multiplayer battles as well. It's a subtle tip that they kind of teach you with these objects. You can use that with, oh god, no, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. My armor is broken right now. I have no protection. Another hit and I'm done. Oh! Wow, that was a good cooldown management. Okay, gonna wait for this. I should probably be using splat bombs here so I can just throw them. You're down there. Okay, I'm gonna throw that over there and then trap you. Good. Shoot, man. Okay. Yeah, I was saying they teach you that really well by having objects in this level that you can throw bombs at for instant detonation and just do huge amounts of damage to the enemies. Like so. Yeah. It's a good tip that can be used on splash walls whenever enemies try to wall you with it if they happen to come around to the other side thinking that they can take advantage of something that you're doing. You can say nope and have a lot of ink and just do that to them. Not bad. Smooshed him. Or her. Sorry. You coming back? Yeah! Gotta do that. Their AI, while not the smartest, is actually decently smart. They are able to shark. Their weapon of choice is the Octo Shot, which is basically a reskin of a 10 attack. They have splat bombs of their own. I don't believe that they can use specials. That's kind of a limitation. That was an elite Octoling, as you may or may not have been able to tell by its sad, sorry performance. They have kelp on their head, and they generally are stronger and smarter, I guess. You gonna come over here? You gonna see me? No, okay. There's an invisible wall around spawn that prevents attacking it. My bomb just simply dissolved rather than instantly exploding. I got that. A general rule in any level that takes place inside of a verse stage, check behind spawn. There's usually some kind of reward here. Already picked it up, doesn't look like anything else is here. Come on. Elite Octolings generally have more health. Okay, good. Took it out. And there is, no. You going up there? You are. All right, there's your splat bomb. I gotta throw this. I'm not used to throwing bombs on this terrain. You don't usually get this close to enemy spawn unless they have a disconnect and are very bad on top of that. Over here. Grab that. Oh, a bomb rush. Good time to find that, huh? Sure, we can activate that. There's gonna be an Octoling here, I bet. No? Huh. Okay. That one's smoother than I expected. Like how I didn't even need the bomb rush. I think you were meant to find that before going into the base and there were ones super jumping towards you. Oh yeah, if you want to go back to Goblet Square, press X and then press plus. Thank you for that. I didn't get either collectible. I didn't expect the stage to end as abruptly as it did, so we're going back. Just out of spawn is the side area, usually reserved for chargers. And in it is a hidden box containing eggs. Well, it ain't there. Or is it you? No. Right under the bridge is some armor. Finding a lot of secrets, none of which are the correct one. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Ink, shoot your feet. Thank you. No. Why is this so hard? Oh, hi. There's the sunken scroll right by the other one. I was half right, knowing that it was out of a spawn point. Oh, hi! Guess what? You're going to flip and die! Because, you know, you're a sea creature and, you know, like dolphins. I was doing a thing. Oh, no! You don't do that. I didn't do this before. I didn't launch myself up and get a whole lot of fried food. Nice little touch. Because we've already rescued the Zapfish, on repeat playthroughs, they are plushy Zapfish, including mini ones. The Sardinium was that easy? It was right next to the enemies, but whoa, mister, you gotta check over by the spawn points, guys. I promise it's worth it. Look at me, I got eggs! Well, we've beaten the stage with another weapon now. Net the freshest gear around. Get the abilities you've always dreamed about. Orders will be fulfilled by that weird kid with the spiky hair. Interested? Send inquiries to Annie. Yeah, I was worried you were talking about merch. You could have been talking about a few spiky-haired kids. This is referring to Splatnet 2, something that we'll be going over at a later time. Just remember it for later. Joe here is gonna go take a nice little nap while we go in and meet with our other self to go back to Inkopolis Square and talk about some sort of new topic. Ranked battles is our new subject of the day. When going into a ranked battle, matchmaking works differently, or badly, depending on who you ask. The way you find matches in ranked is through a system known as Glicko 2. It's a complicated mathematical thing that is used for seeding in all sorts of tournaments in order to make sure that battles are challenging but not overwhelming. The seeding is based solely on wins, losses, or draws, the combination of ranked power between all of the players that were involved in a match and how many matches you have played, with it getting more and more accurate the more data it has to work with. Your weapon also has a power stat, and when it's determining which weapons go on which team, it's totaling the power levels of all the weapons and making sure they don't exceed a certain number. Higher power levels does not necessarily mean the weapon is stronger. Generally speaking, it's sniping weapons that have higher power levels, and because it's not allowed to exceed a certain number, that's why you never see a team of 4 chargers. If you want to pause, all of the math and inner workings here are visible on screen. Now, while this is better than Turf Wars, where the only thing that is prioritized is ping time, meaning that you're going to be playing with people local to you more than anyone else, the system is not perfect. Because there are more high-level players in Japan than any other region, and players in Japan are geographically closer to each other than any other region due to their population density, this means that players getting matched up in Japan, the system has more to work with, is going to get people that are evenly match paired up more often, and there aren't going to be massive divisions in skill like you might see in other regions. I'd like to thank Superfern 013 and Oatmeal Dome for putting together this research. They covered a lot of other mathematics related to other game modes in their notes, but this is just what they gave me based on ranked battles. Now that we know how the game calculates things, what exactly is ranked battles? I would describe it as bigger rewards, bigger risks. You're putting your rank on the line here to say that you can play with the big boys and gals. Specifically .96 gals, they're quite rampant inside of ranked battles. But if you go into ranked and you win, more experience points and big money. You will level up faster, unlock things quicker. If you lose, however, that bar in the top right will start to crack. Rack up 4 cracks, and the bar will shatter back down to 0. If you are below that line, you rank down. Some of you might be chuckling a little bit at the fact that I'm S+0 and not rank X, and I'm trying to tell people what they can do to be a better player. Let's just say that when you make guides for every single weapon, including ones that you do not play, and you have to get footage of it looking good at every single mode, yeah, your rank takes a few tumbles doing that, huh? But let's not talk about this anymore. Now that we know how rank battles work, let's meet the weapon that we're gonna be putting our rank on the line with. I don't know when this new weapon class streak will end, but I'm happy it's not because I get to tell you about something else that's fun, the Inkbrush. This is a new take on the roller. Starting with the similarities, it's a melee weapon that throws ink around in front and has a continuous roll. The devil is in the details. So the swing is a side-to-side motion that spawns 3 blotches of ink in a V shape, which then fall to the ground. Despite their size, they're very reasonable, only using up 6% of the ink tank per swing. As general logic would dictate, they suck at damage and range. In fact, this is the weakest attack of any kind. To get just 30 damage, it has the shortest effective range of any weapon, and even being just a little bit away causes damage fall off, bottoming out at next to nothing. The roll is also a lightweight, only doing 20 damage when bumping into a foe, but boasting the best roll handling and fastest kid form speed in the entire game. This makes it the best weapon for moving across grates and uninkable land. We've got good speed, good ink economy, and huge blotches of ink matched with being terrible at fighting. Yep, it's one of those turfing weapons that builds up its special super fast. In order to fight, it has to lean in for a kiss, and no one wants to get the enemy lipstick on their cheek. It's best to be stealthy, and head-on attacks are almost never a good idea for it. Everything else outranges it, and probably outdamages it too, so use the movement to your advantage. Either approach quickly from behind, swim in quickly to overwhelm, or just get away fast when things aren't looking good. As tempting as it might seem, following enemies into their ink with the roll is an invitation for trouble. It's left vulnerable with a trail of ink so thin it's near impossible to swim back through. The roll's main purpose is getting to the center of the map to throw around ink very fast and help assure map control at the start of the fight. Though it's a thin trail that looks like it would have the player stepping in enemy ink, the roll actually ignores the effect of enemy ink, so it moves consistently fast every time. Other than the obvious turfing, the strongest mode-specific application of the main weapon is in Clam Blitz, where it can collect clams very easily with the roll, and then roll up to the enemy goal to pick up easy points. I've recommended against rolling into enemy ink to challenge them, but this is not doing that. The end game is getting points, not whacking them with a wet noodle. And even then, it can still get away after the job is done. The fight is in the sub-weapon, Splat Bomb. Of course it's good for throwing at awkward times for enemies. The Inkbrush can't fight very well, so it can contribute its sub-weapon to its partners instead. The Inkbrush is so short range, it doesn't get to use the Splat Bomb for its own gain as often as a shooter or something long range would. It's better used during stealthy approaches alongside swings, since the splash damage is 30 and that will at least reduce the number of hits to splat. Since the main weapon is so ink efficient, it often gets lots of swings after a bomb even with no abilities. Thanks to the affordability, it can often toss a Splat Bomb to answer questions and see if it's safe to keep moving. Alternatively, use it defensively to stop a rush, as an Inkbrush can't do much to fight back once noticed. For the special, Splashdown! Due to being so bad at fighting, the Inkbrush has a dirt cheap special charge at a measly 150 points. This is less so the Inkbrush is the main weapon as it is the Splashdown as the main weapon. Since it usually likes to be stealthy and get in close anyway, it gets lots of chances to use this. The Splat Bomb is also great in conjunction with it, either for cutting off an escape route or to manipulate movement into a prepared splashdown. Or toss a bomb after the reload. Since it's often hiding in ink when the heat's rough, it should often be in prime situations to either drop off a ledge and splashdown or use the super jump method. Of course, the roll can be used to quickly approach with a prepared special. Now, the way this all comes together is to form a weapon that's bad at fighting, but moves super fast and throws ink around like crazy to do little things to support the team. This is a weapon I keep coming back to because it's fun to troll with, and in fact, that's another advantage. Because enemies just think they can win against it, they'll often just shoot you outright and not focus on the objective or on a teammate in a vital moment. It can be good, I just wouldn't blame you if you said that you didn't like it. The Inkbrush's poor combat and strong turfing make it ideal for turf wars, but its strongest mode-specific perk is in Clam Blitz. Play this for speedy stealth and turfing above all else. The effective main power-up on Inkbrush is greater inking speed, and it also makes it paint better. This is not a very visible effect, even with lots of stacking, so I don't recommend it. Ability slots would be a lot better off going towards swim speed to make the movement even better, or possibly to cancel out a ninja squid to make it play an even stealthier game. For the artsy, we have the Inkbrush Nouveau. Has the same stats as your regular Inkbrush, but with a brand name, darling. We're not quite done with new sub-weapons, because this one has the Ink Mine. Well, maybe by some measure we've already finished talking about sub-weapons. This isn't considered a very strong one, but you should decide for yourself. Up to 2 ink mines per user are allowed to be placed within the ground. At 60% ink cost and no ink recovery lag, it's pretty easy to place them in succession. An ink mine will never detonate without being triggered, and the area of effect for it to be triggered is visible to its own team with the circle around it. 2 ink mines may not be placed within the radius of one another. It's triggered by enemy movement within its circle or when the mine itself is touched by enemy ink. Alternatively, the oldest ink mine still standing will explode when a third one is placed. When triggered, it's a hybrid of point sensor and burst bomb, though not as strong as either of those individually. It covers the ground very well, does 45 direct damage, 35 with anything less, and acts as a tracker for the whole team for 5 seconds compared to the 7 offered by the point sensor. Though the perks afforded by it might not be as strong as other sources, the fact that it does both at once gives the enemy a massive wound and a target on their back that makes them change their behavior. Since they're visible to their own team and not the enemy, these are traps, best laid in the areas the enemy team has to travel through to reach their goal. Stealthy players can keep them between enemy spawn and choke points to the center of the map as a way of making them think twice before challenging you. Another application is using it as an alert system. If the player's back has to be turned to focus on something, preemptively place an ink mine while getting into position so they have to pass through it to reach you. Due to all the tells from the explosion, it's impossible to be snuck up on in some situations thanks to this. In ranked battles, there's only so many ways that the enemy team can get to their stated objective. Because of this, placing them in strategic locations can buy precious seconds to slow them down or straight up lead to their defeat thanks to the tracking and damage. For the Inkbrush, it already likes avoiding direct confrontation and doesn't want to be engaged first in combat. This has some legitimate benefit in not being snuck up on as easily, not to mention dealing damage without having to get close. The problem is that without a throwing attack, and especially without a lethal sub-weapon, Inkbrush Nouveau is very prone to getting bullied from a distance, since that means every part of its regular moveset is bad at fighting and doesn't make its range game any stronger. Moving on to the Body Cloth, the effective sub-power-up on Ink Mine raises the splash damage radius and lengthens tracking time. Not great, but maybe your favorite gear has got one sub-slot of it, can't hurt to have. I think you know what's next. If the main and sub aren't good, then it's probably gonna have a very good special. And so it does! Baller! With Inkbrush being so stealthy anyway, it gets lots of chances to drop onto heads and explode. When it's not doing that, it's yet another tool for Inkbrushes to get away when the roll seems too risky. With 180 points and good speed, the Nouveau has an easy time building up its special. I should mention that Baller's movement speed is affected by the player's current run speed. The Inkbrush Nouveau is one of only 4 lightweights with the Baller, meaning that it has inherently fast speed when using this special, and that can be a reason to like this weapon. When you really think about it, Baller would come naturally to players of this weapon, since it's basically just the Inkbrush roll with a shield. With such fast movement, with or without its special, it's able to charge through in different situations and get away in others. It gets the Baller all the time, so when it gets going, it's a beast and made far less fragile and more capable. Ballers take heavy damage against chargers, so that's a consistent weakness across all 3 parts. It might still be exploitable, but this kit's pretty darn good depending on the map rotation. Of course the main weapon's incredible movement, stupid fast special charges, and Baller makes this an excellent choice for Clan Blitz. My praises don't even stop there. Thanks to having such an easy Baller and good movement, I recommend this highly for Splat Zones as well. Special Charge Up is heavily recommended for this weapon, because if you don't have the Baller currently, you should be trying to get it. As long as nothing is immediately dangerous, be painting. It's so easy to get the special, why would you not play around it? Nouveau is for today. Permanent Inkbrush is forever. Its sub is the Sprinkler. As per usual, throw it at the start of the match for some free points, get easy specials, and use it as bait whenever possible. Inkbrushes prefer indirect approaches, and enemies tend to shoot at a Sprinkler whenever they see it. It's a good method to testing the waters before swimming on and making things a lot safer for the little wet noodle. Its special weapon is Ink Armor. Between the main weapon, the Sprinkler, and a 180-point special, the Ink Armor is meant to be the focus. Right away, it's clear that the added defense is a good thing when the Inkbrush has such a slow time to kill, but that's about all I can say about this particular set of ink armor. Ink armor matters so much because it helps the entire team, and the user's ability to stay alive and keep building it up matters above all else. While this one doesn't build it up slowly, it faces stiff competition from the Splattershot Jr., the NZAP, and even the .96 Gal, which all build it up quickly and sport either longer range, a lethal bomb, or both. I'm gonna be real, I feel naked playing this weapon, like I never have any options if there's any long-range game going on at all. Definitely save this one for the smaller maps where the sprinkler can do things like paint the middle of the map well. Utterly sacrificing any offensive aptitude for just being a strong team supporter, this one doesn't really stand out against the competition much. Y'all know what time it is? It's Off the Hook, coming at you live from Inkopolis Square. Check it, here are the current regular battle stages. The Reef, Muscle Forge Fitness, are not the two maps that we're gonna be seeing today. We're going to be seeing the current ranked battle stages. Anchovy Games and Starfish Main Stage, double repeats. They have two custom squid shredders with pearl pickups on the stage here. And the bass guitar is a custom Octo Slapper QX2. Pearl leads, Marina does machines. Sorry, everyone. I'm going out to hit some dingers with my brush. I look like I'm holding a big aluminum baseball bat with a goofy top on it. Yeah, I'm looking pretty styling, actually. Got a nice orange and red and white color scheme here. Could be on a sports team. In fact, kinda am. Oh man, oatmeal above my name there. I remember coming home from school one day. My mom named me Emil so that nobody could make fun of my name. I guess she didn't foresee everyone calling me Emily my whole life. And I remember one day I came home from school in tears because somebody made fun of my name for the first time in first grade. And I was like, Mommy, they called me something horrible. And she's like, oh no, Emil, what did they call you? And I was like, Mom, they called me oatmeal. And she just starts laughing and I'm like, don't laugh, no, don't laugh, Mom. And it was horrible. Anyway, so we've seen this stage before. I'm mainly gonna be hanging out up here whenever I don't have anything to contribute. I can lay down some ink mines. This is gonna be one of the few times that I'll probably ever choose to use this one. I chose to go with the baller set as it's incredibly good for, oh, no. I don't know how I traded there. I went all in on special charge up, much like our Aerospray PG friend there, because using baller and dropping down on it from those ledges around spawn sounded like a fantastic use of the terrain for this specific weapon, especially with it wanting to lay low so much. Gonna get out of the way of this Ink Storm. Oh gosh, Ink Storms add up a lot of damage. You don't expect it, but despite how slow it seems to be damaging you, it's a lot worse than you'd think. Mainly wanted to get behind enemy lines here and lay down one of these bad boys so I can have a notification system of when they're behind me, like right now. Oh boy, they're gonna get some points here. Yep, in control. But that's okay. That's okay. I can, oh jeez. I can always just drop down with my baller whenever it's needed. Just waiting for the right moment. Right now would probably be a good time. Whoop! Boom! Colored it in. Any map with one splat zone like this, I love the baller for it, and that was the main reason that I chose it. I'm gonna lay low here. I'm gonna probably hang out in this little crevasse here. There's a bloblobber over there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and die. You always think like, nah, they're not gonna land every single hit from that far away, and they always surprise you. All right, I should probably explain Splat Zones a little bit now that I've gone over my strategy. Color in the zone in the middle of the map. Have control over it, you have your timer go down. Hit 0, you win. It's basically King of the Hill. Wow, I got smushed by a dynamo roller. Oh no, I got splatted by it, okay. I thought he ran me over though, but no, that was actually the fling. They're catching up and fast. We gotta make something happen here. So, to explain the rules of Splat Zones a little bit, we got a timer in there that's going down. Whenever the enemy gets control after we have had it, we get a penalty based on how many points in the lead we were, causing us to have to stay in control longer in order to score more points again, in this case, 27 seconds. It's actually a little shorter than a second though, but you understand. Point is, we gotta be in control more now because we were doing well early game. I complain a lot about Turf Wars and how early game actions in it mean nothing, and it's really just whoever spams the most specials and subs in the last few seconds of the match is usually who wins. Splat Zones basically fixes that problem. You are being timed how long you have map control throughout the whole game. There's advantages to getting behind enemy lines and disadvantages because you're not in the center coloring in the zone longer. If somebody sneaks in and starts coloring it in with their special, that's on you. Watching the squids at the top of the screen, being vigilant about that is great in this mode. An argument that I would personally make regarding Splat Zones rules. Turf Wars should never be played in a tournament. Nintendo requires you to win at Turf Wars before you are allowed to start playing in ranked modes in official tournaments. And I don't like that. I don't like Turf Wars being used as an elimination round. I think personally, we already have a Turf Wars that is well balanced, the better team wins, and your actions all mean something, and it's called Splat Zones. It's an excellent way of doing a ranked mode in this game. I think Turf Wars has its place. It's definitely a more friendly place to play, and it's a lot more easy for new players to grasp. But honestly, I think once you've moved on from that, you've gotten your skills in place, if you enjoy Turf Wars, you're gonna enjoy Splat Zones. It just provides a bigger challenge. It feels a lot more fair. You feel like if you're playing right, you're winning a lot more often than not. That's just how I feel about it. Try to be careful here. Gonna use my baller. Oh God, no! There were 3 of them. Crap. It's a good example of why rushing in with the baller can really suck. Oh, we lost the loaf! Only 52 seconds left. Time limit is 5 minutes in a Splat Zones game as well. That's the case for all ranked modes. If you get down to 0, it's an instant win, which we might be seeing here momentarily, and not from us. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I need to be painting. Well, at least it wasn't a total wash. We scored a lot of points. We were good early game. How often do you hear me say that we played well in the first half, and that's actually commendable? Got 6 kills. I used my special 4 times. I wasted it once, though. For losing the game, I got 0 points there. I only got 400 experience points for surviving 4 minutes against the other team. And if I had equipment that was leveling up, then I wouldn't have gotten many points toward that either. It would have been 400. Anchovy Games. Can't believe we're having a double repeat this early. It's only the 7th episode. Got an Explosure. I got another Inkbrush to contend with. They're a vanilla Inkbrush. They don't have the baller like I do. There is Octobrush on the other team. I'm kind of hoping I was fighting an Inkbrush Nouveau. I have some not so positive opinions about that. Interesting other comp. Kind of inking based, I would say. We're gonna build this up. We're gonna drop down and kablooey! Take away their control. And that's my main mission. Just gonna be going around, painting, going into forgotten corridors, grabbing some points, maybe sneaking behind enemy lines and playing assassin a little bit, and building up my special, using it to score some free points. This is a small map, so it generally does favor shorter range weapons. There's not as much space for people to outreach you. No. Got double team, triple team, wow. That's happened now where I've ended up in a 3v1 in both games. I think I'm being a little too reckless. Rectum trademark. I'm so honored I didn't know that I found the person who had ownership over Rectum. Oh man. Didn't know we were in the midst of a celebrity here. Okay, he sees me. I cannot rush in with my baller in that situation. We got a guy over there. Okay, he's dead. Boom! Okay, we definitely bridged that. We colored in the entire zone with our 2 specials in tandem with each other. The Booyah Bomb might have had it, but I want myself to feel better! Oh god. That splashdown was really bad. I can't believe he didn't kill me. It was really surprising. I'm not using ink mines a whole lot here. I guess I could change that though, and maybe put one down here in the zone so it just explodes and paints the turf a little bit. That could be the difference. Oh. I haven't really gotten many kills. Lay that down. Might as well undo some of their painting when they color in the zone inevitably. Make it so they have to be close by putting it behind those boxes too. We'll shred that. Good one. Place that down. Let's actually score a kill. Mad cause you bad? Well, you're not wrong. I need to super jump in. One of the abilities that I dedicated slots to was quick super jump, and I wanted that working in tandem with my comeback. It's not so bad that I'm dying so much. I have abilities that lessen the penalty for dying because with a freaking Ink Mine as my sub-weapon, I wasn't really expecting to win many fights in the first place. That wasn't why I chose to play this weapon. In fact, I think this is a fine example of building up a special that can just change the game state is a fine enough reason to play a weapon. You don't have to be scoring kills all the time in order to contribute. It's one of the reasons why I think Splatoon is just such a beautiful game. It's not all about team deathmatch or anything like that. It's not like other shooters in that way. You can contribute in a multitude of different ways, that being just one of them. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, they died. Oh, whoa, speaking of death. Oh, wait. Okay. I got that. Use that to cover up. There we go. You lost control. I'm loss of control. Keep getting assists. Everyone's just attacking everybody I'm attacking. Happens when you're short range, I guess. Just get rid of those. They're useless. They're no good to anybody now. Oh no. Okay. Gonna roll away. I don't really have anybody I can jump to. I think I'm just gonna play low. I'm dead and I can't booyah here to get special points. This is a close game. This could go either way, really, at this point. You got 1 minute left on the clock. I'm gonna jump to you and hope I do okay. Whoop! Good. You lost the lead. That's not so good. Whoop. I think they're in our base, so we're just scoring points here. Saw you. You thought you were gonna get away from me. I was able to use the ink there to trap him, and because he was just trying to shark me, I was able to take advantage of that. A little more time and I can get a special built up. If we can take control and keep it for a few seconds, we should have this. He had drop roller, damn it! If they're in control when that time limit runs out, they have instantly won the game. Doesn't matter if they have not quite reached the end. Go in there. It's not gonna do a whole lot for me though, but I need to get in there while I still have comeback. I went in a death mission there. That's a good username. I'm not even upset that I'm losing to that. If I do. We might. Come on. Okay, we're going into overtime here. This is the other big mechanic of it. I'm glad we're getting to see it once. Overtime. As long as we can prevent them from getting in control, we keep the game going. All right, double loss. At least we made it to the end of the time limit, so it was a little better than last time. I think we played all right. And I'm also just glad that I got to showcase kind of an alternate playstyle by using this weapon in particular. There's my first crack. I got it after 2 losses. Gotta turn this around if I'm gonna keep my rank. Okay, well, I'll go stand in the corner. Me dressing like this proves one thing. I can't play baseball. Well. You've gotten your first taste of ranked. Rather hostile wild, isn't it? With that, we are all done here. Next time on Splatoon 2, I'm gonna show you the art of killing people with a bucket. When you really think about it, everything is a murder weapon. See you guys then!